hate you.
I'll say it again, that I'm recording now. I just wanted to say you're amazing.
I thought you were gonna say like not at the end then.
No, I left it. I left it as a statement. Why,
What?
you have such little faith in me. Understandably, but still.
It's justified.
It's entirely justified. Nothing could be more justified. You know.
I'm really sad because I've still got so many nachos left, and I'm definitely gonna be eating them
We,
whilst
we,
we're.
can, we can eat during the podcast. I'm fine with that. I've got some food I could always eat if you...
Yeah, let's have a mukbang, a hungover bung. Where does that term come from? Actually,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
start recording because I'm gonna look at.
I'm glad you've asked this question. I've never been comfortable using it because, oh lord.
Oh, okay.
Episode 21 gets cancelled. Oops.
It's a South Korean term, apparently. Obviously, I know what it means, which is to live stream a person eating loads of food. She is eating 2 pounds of lobster in this mukbang. I don't know why I
That's
added
too
fucking.
Don't eat that much.
I guess mukbang.
No, that's too much lobster.
It's just, I don't know.
Sorry, I've got
where it
the
came.
wrong thing. I'm just angry about the lobster. Oh, also, hi, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
How's it going? How's it going? You'll notice this week, let's draw attention to it, Cat's eating. I am not.
I thought you said you were going to.
Oh, I mean, I can.
Yeah, you need to.
Well, it's
I can't
not
be
good,
alone
is
in
it?
this.
Like, nothing good has ever come from me eating, aside from some clips that we've managed to put on the Instagram. You're just telling me to make content for myself. Okay, look, I'll eat this cereal bar as we go. Okay, every time I think there's an appropriate silence, I'll eat something, and then you'll say something, and I'll get screwed over, and it's going to be another "Chris is a dumbass" episode. But that's normal. Welcome back. Hi, it's episode 21. Apparently, I know. Okay, look, let's get it out of the way because I know we say it every time. What? How the fuck have we made it to 21?
This is like, we should put together all of the how the fuck are we at episode, and then just like back to back, how the fuck are we at episode 2?
How are we at this point? The next episode will have effectively done an episode for every year that we've been alive.
So we're retiring next.
So that's it. We're retiring on a high. This was our high. No, my high point was about 8 years old. I would say I peaked at 8.
That was before you knew me. That's so sad.
Well, yeah, but you knew me when I was already a husk of my former self. I'm not who I was when I was 8. You know, that guy.
You can't do
I mean,
this to me.
when did you peak?
I don't fucking know. It depends whether. Like, I was.
Or
such
have
a
you
bitch.
peaked? Do you think there's a peak still ahead of
Maybe
you?
I haven't peaked. Maybe I haven't peaked. Maybe that's why I don't know. I feel like I should know.
I have peaked, but it happened.
I feel like when I have 5 dogs, that will be my peak.
That can be arranged, I'm sure.
So how are you, Chris?
Why? You knew I'd eat.
Yeah, I heard the muffle of like cereal bar in gob and thought,
You're the worst. You're actually the worst.
I know.
I'm alright. Should I take us? You know what? I'll do it. I'll take us into a more serious moment briefly. I think that's the joy of this podcast. Is it's the emotional roller coaster of constantly swaying between deep, emotional, honest, and bullshit. But you never quite know when it's about to swing back the other way.
Yeah.
Which makes it a kind of gripping ride throughout. That's the Water Rights podcast.
If you
Always
say
keeps you on your
so,
toes.
gripping.
Yeah, it's been great. So it's been a year this week. Actually yesterday. Well, okay, it depends how you count it, but yeah, it's not very important. It's been a year since my grandma died,
Oh my god.
which is kind of weird. Because
Wait, what day did she die?
okay, so this is the thing. the gravestone and the death certificates say the 30th of July.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I think it was the early hours of the 31st, like the very
Okay.
early hours of. So that's probably
Right.
why they counted it as the 30th. But for me, it's the 31st. That was yesterday. Um,
Yeah.
which is a weird thing, but it did. I had a moment on
Were you
stream
sad?
yesterday where I was like talking about it. Yeah, it's sad, but you know what? It's also it's taught me a lot about myself this year. There's lots that I've learned, and I guess what I'm also kind of grateful for is that it could have been very easy for me to kind of enter a year of bullshit and nonsense and
Yeah.
I don't know what weird impulsive decisions. And actually, I've done all right. I've been quite lucky to be anchored by some lovely people, including you.
Oi
That's
oi.
you, not the listeners. I'm talking to you, Kat, just so you're aware.
Thanks,
Okay.
boo.
Um, and
Fuck
in
you,
various
listeners.
ways. And obviously, I'm not going to go and name people because A, I'll forget someone and they'll be offended. B, it
Oh, I
takes
hate
too
that.
long.
Yeah.
So you'll know if it's you. And to you, I say thank you. You're awesome. Yeah, I mean, I wrote a blog post about it. So if you wanna check out my blog,
You need
you
to send
can.
the blog
It's at
to me.
crispy2117.blogspot.com, and you can check it out. Sorry, what was that?
Your blogs are so good.
I don't know if they are. They're a bit of a mess, but I realized that I always try and get them right. And I was like, I need to always get them right. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, who even decides what's right for my blog? Surely that's me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, whoa. I don't need an external seal of approval. I can just write. No. And my mind was blown, honestly. It was a big shock. No one expected it.
Sorry, I decided to eat.
Yeah, no, of course you did. Of course you did. But yeah, you know what? I'm doing all right. I thought I was worried, actually. But it's weird. I got more anxious.
In the lead up.
I was anxious that I would feel sad. And that was worse than what I felt like. It was sad, obviously, but it was like it just meant where you're like, you raise a glass kind of thing. Happy for the life that they lived, rather than sad that they're not here.
Weirdly, I was at a funeral, like, as you guys know, because I mentioned it before, a few weeks ago. Went to 2 in like a week. It was crazy. And at the first one,
yeah, 2 funerals in a week is a lot.
Yeah, that was not the best series of events. But at the funeral, somebody said, as long as we keep talking about them and keeping, like, essentially talking about them keeps them alive. And, like, are they really gone if they're still in our thoughts and still present? And they said you're only truly dead when you're no longer in anyone's thoughts, which was a really, like, it's something I've heard before, but I guess now I'm a bit older, I thought about it and I was like, no, that's so true. Like, talking about people keeps them alive. And actually, if your grandkids talk about you and then they tell your their grandkids, like, you keep the memory.
Yeah, I think you're
You
right.
keep the
I think
person alive.
people always get stressed about you always hear people they're like, oh, what am I going to leave behind? I need to leave something behind. They always talk as if it's something physical, They need to leave money or a house, or they need to build something, and it's like, you can leave the memories that you leave behind with the people you love and knew. Yeah, like you say, they're almost the things that keep you alive, so to speak. More so than any kind of, like, I would rather people remembered me and had, like, funny stories they would tell them about, times when I did something dumb, like eat on a podcast, than someone ever building a statue of me. Like, that's no one is going to build a statue of me, obviously. But if they ever were going to, I would tell them no. because like that's not. I don't want to be. I would never want to be remembered like that. I would just want to be remembered as the weirdo who occasionally did some funny stuff in there.
Yeah.
That's how I want to be remembered in there.
Have you got a specific memory? Like, I don't know what your grandmother was really like in terms of nature, but have you got like one specific memory that jumps to mind or anything?
I don't think so. I think it's very weird. When I was writing a post yesterday, the one thing I could think of was I mean, I guess you would kind of know. Well, I don't know. It's when I was like younger, like primary school younger, I was like really like sensitive to the point where I would, instead of just enter the depression spiral, I would just burst into tears. Like it was just like
No.
one of my teachers put it quite well once. It was like I would get angry. It was like the end point of the anger,
Yeah.
Like I'd be angry at something because something wasn't right, and it would make me angry. And then the only way I would know what to do would be like, I don't know what to do with this, because sometimes you don't. Sometimes there actually isn't a thing that you can do to fix a situation. But being so young, you don't understand that. So, I ended up just crying a lot. It was very sad. But I remember she'd always just be like, she'd give you a little bit to get it out of your system, and then she'd be like, look, come on now, no more tears, no more tears.
Yeah.
And it'd be a bit like, look, you've got out of your system. It was like, it wasn't ever like, don't cry, grow up, which, you hear a lot from people, especially when you're younger, like, you need to grow up, you need to man up. It was never like that. It was just like, look, we'll have a moment, get out of your system, and then let's fix whatever it is you've done, whatever dumb thing is that you've done, because it's not broken, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But she was very strong. She was a very strong woman. She could always be counted on to be there, and just like, if you wanted a cup of tea, that's the place to.
I love that. What is it about grandmothers and them making the best cups of tea? It's like they've got years of perfecting it.
Bloody brilliant. That's what it was just great. Sit there, we'd go around, when we were younger, we'd go every Saturday, and then, as I got older, and sometimes I'd pop in just myself or whatever, and like, you'd have like a slice of cake and like a cup of tea. Oh, incredible. That's incredible.
I still have this with like, as some of you might know, my family's like super young, so I've still got great grandparents around. Some of them have died, but like I've still got living great grandparents, but because my family's young, they are more like grandparents, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't. But anyway, whenever I go to my nan and granddad's house, my nan always has a cake on the go.
Oh, yes.
And it's just, I don't even really like cake. I'm not a big cake person. Don't hate me. However,
can you feel the look I'm giving you right now?
I know, I'm so sorry. But my nan's cake, I don't know what it is. It's bloody banging. And it's like, it'd be like random stuff like carrot cake or stuff that you'd think I wouldn't like, and it'll be so good. Her lemon cake is so good, or fruit cake. Yeah, like stuff I wouldn't normally like, and I don't know what it is. She's just so good at making cakes.
Yeah, it's weird. I remember the good times, because I mean there were a lot of, she obviously had dementia and stuff. So like the last few years were they were weird. They were funny for all the wrong kind of reasons. There's things that she'd say that she would never have said before, and you're like, oh god, you've lost it. You cracked.
I think it's good to be able to laugh about that though, because otherwise dementia is such an awful.
Oh, it was horrible.
Horrible. Yeah. But
I think you have to be able to. I always say like, I'd have to laugh, otherwise I'd cry. Which I kind of mean as a joke, but also it's like, it's just like, if you can turn it into something like that, it's like a coping mechanism kind of thing.
I know I would want people to laugh if I like got dementia and was like
100%.
chatting about the time I don't know, lost my knickers in Paris or something like that. You know, like if I just forgot, you know, where I was for a minute and started blabbing
100%.
deep secrets or something. I'd love it for my family to just.
The thing is that
laugh
some of the stuff
about
she came
it.
up with was just such like someone would leave the room and she'd be like, I think he's sleeping with another woman. And I'd be like, oh Christ. He's going to work. He's not having an affair, he's going to work. What are you on
That's
about?
brilliant.
So it was great. She was incredible. And yeah, it's been a year, but you know, I mean, life moves on, and
Yeah.
I remember her, and I remember all the things she did for me, and I think this is the weirdest thing. I've come to the conclusion, and this is an odd conclusion for someone like me. I think she'd be proud of who I am now.
Aww.
I've decided that I've decided that. I've decided it. No one can question it. But like, I know that she died the same week that I like started my job, bought my first car and stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, I felt like she just held on, you know. She was like, look, let's make sure he gets over that line and finally gets to adulthood. And I got there and she's like, look, job's done. Right, I'm out. I'm the head out.
Don't. Oh, that makes me feel so like. It makes me feel.
It's almost look. It's almost certainly not true. Let's be honest. It's almost certainly not true. But it's nice to think that, you know. And it's just nice to...
somebody's father who unfortunately had cancer, and she was getting married, and thankfully he held on and while they got married, and then passed away. But you know, and you're just like, thank God he got to have that day. Yeah, like
absolutely.
Oh.
Anyway, look, sorry about that. Sorry for starting it on a serious note, but that's. But you know what? I'm feeling good.
You screwed me over. The one episode I decided to eat, and then you start talking about your deceased grandmother. Like, it's just a bit disrespectful, isn't it? Me just sat there like I stopped eating my nachos.
She'd appreciate it. She'd be like, "Get on with it. What are you doing?
Get a cup of tea. Get a cake."
Yeah. She'd be like, "Come on,
crack on.
Don't let it get cold."
I feel like all grandparents are feeders as well.
100%.
But then I also know a lot of grandparents who are like, "Oh, watch your weight, but here's a cake."
Oh, mine was never like that. Mine was just
a feeder.
The good thing about having someone who grew up in the wartime kind of generation.
Oh.
Obviously, they grew up like with rationing and stuff. So they've reached that point where it's available, and it's like, "Here you go, have some." I'm like, "Yes, please. I'm a growing young man. I need this food."
I'm growing at the ripe age of 22.
I need it. I need my bones to become stronger. I can grow up to be a firefighter one day. So, yeah, it was weird. But you know what? You've had tell us about Standon Calling, Kat.
Oh, yeah. That was, oh my God, it's crazy. It's been...
And whilst you do that, be aware that I'm listening. I'm also trying to get rid of a fly which has landed on my netting and I hate it. So just carry on. But
although actually you saying that just reminds me of when Mr. Waspy entered your room, and Chris was very angry about this wasp being in his room.
What a bastard Mr. Waspy was. Okay,
he was a giant wasp. And Chris made up a lot of. He said I think he was going to throw his cello at the wasp. Like, it was. Yeah, I think there's some anger issues going on.
Some people would call it irrational anger. I would call it proportional to the situation I was in.
Okay, if you say so. The best bit was, at that period, I was posting everything on Facebook, so I've got the memory somewhere of exactly what happened.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it comes up every year.
Yep. Right, so Standon Calling. So we had our first festival back, which...
Oh, it's left a mark on this as well. Sorry, Carrie. Sorry, I was trying to do a bit quiet.
Did you squish it? Like... No, I hope you didn't squish it.
I might have done.
I'd be too scared. Oh, on a wacky thing. Squatter.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Look, let's not. No one wants this in their lives. Standon Calling. I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
Okay, Standon Calling. Fucking hell! It was like so weird. You know, when you're like, I don't know if you've been out and about since the no mask situation, Chris, but like, it's so weird going out and being able to not wear a mask and be in close proximity with people and XYZ. But let alone a music festival where there's like thousands and thousands of people there and everyone's just back to normal. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? However, it was so good, such a great like start to post COVID gigs. We were like 20 minutes late. We only had a 10-minute changeover, which never works because nobody can do a 10-minute changeover. So we were 20 minutes late to play, but it was such a the band played very well. Bear in mind it's their second gig together.
As a reborn band, if you will.
As a reborn band. Oi, oi.
See what I did?
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Yeah, so it was really good. But because we were 20 minutes late, I'd planned to see everything, as we discussed on the podcast.
Oh God, here we go.
And
Here we bloody go.
Got so stressed because we were sat waiting for ages for the like go-kart things, like the gators to carry the gear back, and I hear everything playing, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss them. I was like, I can't leave until the gear's gone because, you know, my job. And
yeah, you are the manager.
Yeah, it's kind of my responsibility. You know, you're like, I hate my job right now. And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna run and find a gator and bring it back and then get the stuff on it and like I just pray that Pierce lets me go, essentially. So yeah, I ran and I just herded down this person was like blah, 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 this way, and they thankfully understood what I was saying, and yeah, it helped us out.
They wiped the spit off their face that you'd thrown all over them. We're like, all right, fine, I'll come. All right.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it was crazy, and then so we got the stuff back. I was like, Pierce, can I go? Because the gear was loaded and the band were going back with it. And he goes, yeah. So I run around and watching everything. FaceTimed Chris. Obviously that didn't work very well because, you know, internet. What did you see? Could you see anything? Was it
alright? I mean, you've done well to not say it, but I'll draw attention to my own failings. Kat tried to call me several times, and I was in the middle of something at the time. I was moderating a stream on Twitch.
Oh.
So like my attention was kind of like divided. I was like focused on it. I was busy, and then the cat had tried to call me about 26 times. I was like, oh fuck my life, an idiot. Anyway, finally, you know, it works. I'm there. Cat calls. Signal is terrible. It's awful. It's like a slideshow, and like I just couldn't understand. Like the noise is just like.
Oh no.
And it was just like that, and it was just like this slide. I was like, for some reason, I put up with it for like 2 minutes, and then I was like, no, this isn't doing good. This isn't worth it for either of us.
It was like so funny. Yeah, I then ended up sending videos, but I was so excited, and then I stood there and realised I'm by myself. And it wasn't like the moment, and they were amazing, they're brilliant, but you know, when you just like, I wish Chris was here, I wish Brooke was here, who also loves everything. I was just like stood there. It was a bit anticlimactic. Like the music was brilliant, absolutely phenomenal. The singer, I do not know his name, but his voice sounds
Jonathan Hicks, I believe.
That's it, Jonathan. Yeah, his voice sounds exactly the same as it does on recording, which is great. And yeah, so I stood there, but it was a bit like, oh, my friends aren't here. I'm sad now. And then it just hit me all at once. I'm at a festival. Bloody hell. Like, it was such a weird thing. And because we'd just played, I had backstage access. And I was like, I could go and meet them right now. And I could get a video recording or something for Chris as well. That'd be great. And then as I realised this, I remembered that Piers
Alright. Sorry, carry on.
Piers had 2 identical rucksacks, both black and identical. And I put his phone and his battery pack in one of these backpacks. And I was like, I wonder if he put the rucksack that I put his phone in with the gear on the trolley, whether he's actually got his phone or not. And so
It's a good time to start questioning that, you know?
Yeah, I was like, fuck, because if it goes back to the van, he's not going to have it for the rest of the festival. And I was getting messages from Abby, the guitarist, saying like that she wasn't with Piers, and Piers wasn't replying to any of my messages. I was like, fuck.
Oh, God.
I bet it's gone back. And sure enough, it had gone back, and Piers didn't have his phone for the rest of the weekend, so I sacrificed my opportunity to meet everything, and spent an hour or so trying to find Piers. Couldn't find him anywhere, and it turned out that he was still back behind stage at the stage they played at. Like the band went
Was
off.
he just talking to people?
Yeah, he was checked to the stage.
I can see it in my mind. I can see him just there talking to people. He's too goddamn nice.
Well, apparently, he'd said to Abby like to come back,
right?
To him, but I think like it was loud and stuff. Probably just like there was a miscommunication there, I think. But he stayed with his beers because apparently he was scared that if he took the beer out, he wouldn't get them back into the festival.
Yes,
so
that seems like a Piers thing as well.
That was a Piers, very Piers logic. And I suddenly realised this. My logic was to go A, to see if the van was still there, B was go to camp and see if he was by the tent, and then I was like, okay, let's go to the tent, the stage tent, and I ran down. Oh, bloody hell. And the stage manager there said, I saw him 5 minutes ago, he literally just left to go and see Bastille. And I was like, 5 minutes ago, right, okay. And I sprinted. I was like, sorry, bye. And I sprinted. And I thought, I bet it'll be by the bar for Bastille. That was my logic.
Of course.
And I'm like, looking for this man in a zebra t-shirt, like, Piers. Couldn't see him. I was like, damn it, that was my best chance of finding him. And then all of a sudden I see him out the corner of my eye. I'm like, that's Piers. So I've run up. I can't believe I found you. Out of the thousands of people here, I found you. And then 2 seconds
I had this
later,
horrible sick feeling that you're about to say, and it wasn't him. I hugged some random person in a thing. I'm like,
no, Piers, I mean, he's wearing a bandana and a zebra.
I mean, he stands out. He stands out in the best way possible.
Yeah. And yeah, so I jump on him. I was like, I was so happy because I knew he didn't have his phone. And then we turned around and Tyler, the drummer, and his girlfriend Sophie, stood there, and they just found us at the exact same time. It was so weird. And then we found Abby a bit later on, but it was just like,
that's so weird.
Like, yeah, really odd that we all ended up, and we were at the main stage, like Bastille. It was loads of people. Yeah, so that was fun. And to summarise, because like it is quite obviously sun and big long weekend worth of gossip, but I don't know if you heard about the flash floods.
I hadn't heard about them, although I was assuming that they would happen because it's been a bit mental weather-wise recently.
Oh yeah, it was awful. I was like having sort of bad period cramps and stuff, and I said to
Oh my
Piers,
god, it's
I
the
don't
worst
feel
one possible.
great. Literally, like being on your period at a festival is not the one. Just think Portaloos, it's not fun. And I told Piers, and then he felt a bit hungover and stuff, I think, and was just like, "Do you fancy leaving early today?" And I was like, "If you don't mind," because Primal Scream were meant to be headlining, and he was really excited to see them. So I was like, I'm more than happy to stay. Like I'll live, sort of thing. And he goes, "No, let's go." And I was gonna wait to see Maisie Peters because she got replaced for Arlo Parks. Arlo Parks got COVID. Forgot to tell you that.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, she had to cancel. Essentially, decided to leave. Half an hour after we left, thunderstorm, flash flood. The stage we played at, the tent collapsed because there was so much water on it. They then had to turn all the power off. So people, when it got dark, and everyone was having to pack down, everyone packed down in pitch black. People's cars had to get pulled out by tractors. There was a massive jam from people trying to rush out of the car park, so it took people like 5 hours to get out the car park. And Primal Scream, everything got cancelled. So,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, bit of a mess, but you know. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
at least. I mean, so Primal Scream got cancelled anyway.
Yeah. So we didn't miss any one that
Yeah,
we
like
wanted to
it's
see.
all it all kind of works out in a.
We were very smug. Like,
Well,
put it that way. We were very smug, but I felt so bad.
oh, of course, of course.
Yeah.
There's one thing I was gonna. I mean, let's talk about Jordan Mackampa, please.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan.
Let's. I refuse to let that go because
I
mental.
can't, right. Paint a picture. So I didn't know this. So because I was keen on meeting him, and we were very fortunate to have like backstage access and stuff with the artist pass. So I went beside a stage, and then like there's essentially a barrier that goes across the main stage to stop like the general public getting on stage or whatever, and then there's
You got to keep the public away.
Exactly. And then there's a second barrier so that like any like artists that want to go and see the person playing can go and be isolated from the public, but they're in their own box essentially.
You don't want to be near the public. I've seen the public.
Don't want to be near the public. Yeah, so essentially I go along, and I didn't realise at the time, none of us did, that they'd put tape across the whole of the main stage, like standing area, to stop people coming in early and watching people sound check. So I'm thinking, why is no one here? It's Jordan fucking Mackampa, like, bloody hell. And then they took the tape down and people came in. But for those few minutes that...
But no one actually told you to leave.
No, because we were in the like artist bit, but like the... Yeah, like, but they just, I guess...
Oh, as in no one was... Okay, I'm with you.
No one was
like...
Moment. Yeah, I keep saying like general public because I just don't know what else to refer, like... Yeah, like...
Smelly people.
Smelly people couldn't...
I'm so sorry.
Fuck's sake.
Oh.
But yeah, essentially they couldn't get in. So there was like a good 5-10 minute period where it was me, Piers in a bright yellow bandana, and Abby stood there, and it was like fucking making eye contact. Like, I know, I just felt so bad because I just stood there, and then I don't know what happened, but I felt so emotional. I was like, I'm seeing Jordan Mackampa. I sat down, I sat in a puddle, that was great, so I had soggy trousers, and then I just came over.
Did you have a soggy bum?
so, and it was like it looked like I'd pissed myself.
Oh,
like,
that's never good. That's never good.
And I was wearing thick denim as well, so it was like not gonna dry. No, it was shit. And so I was just like, I don't know, I just got emotional. I was like, oh my god, it's Jordan Mackampa. And I was thinking, Pierce like, go say hi. And I was like, I'm gonna make a tit out of myself. I'm fangirling. I am fangirling. I can't. Yeah. But anyway, his set, he's just so lovely. And the guitarist who's playing, I'd seen perform with a couple of other artists, and she's like a brilliant guitarist, so good. So that was nice. His voice is just live. It was everything I expected and more. And then I met him.
You can tell this is what I've really been excited for.
So these two girls, sweeties, they were like working at the bar. They looked so young, but they must have been 18 if they were working at the bar. They came over and they said their friend was a massive fan, and they like wanted to get a video with them. And then security guards came and told them off because they didn't have the appropriate wristband, and I'm sat there like, oh my god, am I going to get kicked out? This is going to be so embarrassing. And they just they didn't bother. Like, they were fine with me. I was thinking, oh, I'm important.
Alright.
But I felt bad because they sort of they got their video and it was really sweet, but then I felt if I went up to him, it's a bit like bombarding the poor guy after he's just played.
Mm-hmm.
But Pierce gave me a bit of courage and was like, look, just go say hi, you'll regret it if you don't.
Did he give you a shot? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah.
Gave you a shot of vodka and you were like, yep, that'll do.
Yep, that'll do. Yeah, so I went and said hi, and then he said that he'd watched the whole of the podcast episode that we were discussing him in, which was crazy because I just assumed that he'd only listened to the bit we were talking about him.
And let's just remember here.
It was episode 1, wasn't it?
Episode 1, where
so
I
didn't
said
know what we were doing.
I despised him because he was too good. Jordan Mackampa.
And he remembered you, which was the best bit.
You do not understand what that did to me that day.
Was it a happy, or was it like, I hate my life, what have I done?
I was weirdly proud because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said that I was the guy who loved Coldplay.
Yeah, well, he made a comment about Coldplay, and I didn't know if he was saying, oh, Coldplay is shit, but what he was actually saying is he loved Coldplay, but you know when someone...
Go on, Jordan. Get in.
Yeah, and then I just sort of I was like, yes. Because there's a lot of artists that are really snooty about Coldplay, and yeah,
It's
anyway.
a complete side note, but can I just say, this week I saw that Sigrid was a big fan of Coldplay. And that...
Oh my god! No way.
I don't understand how it's possible to be more in love with an artist. But
yeah,
at this point, Sigrid is just awesome. Yet again, another episode is dedicated to me saying, by the way, Sigrid's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So there you go. Carry on.
It's Coldplay Club. Oh, I'm too hungover. My words are just not happening today.
I mean, okay, I'll fill some time while you get your words back. Let's just talk about how Jordan Mackampa and Sigrid are fans of Coldplay. I consider this a win, so fuck off, Coldplay haters. I got the good stuff.
Yeah, we can go tell. We're gonna have the best time there.
I don't even give a shit. I'm fine. This is it. I'm in.
Yeah, it was just so nice to for him to take the time to watch our first ever podcast, which was, we were working things out.
No idea what we were doing.
We still have no idea what we're doing, but it just meant so much, and the fact that he remembered you as the guy who loves Coldplay and said that you were really cool and that he loves you, it just...
I mean, you've invented the last two things. He didn't say that. He didn't
sure
say
he
that
did.
I was really cool, and no, he didn't say that. But I'll take it.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I'll take it, but it's not true. Look, I mean,
We're besties now. I'll just message him and get him to clarify.
I can't believe that someone like that actually does it. It makes it feel. It's a good feeling, to know that someone actually.
I'm gonna support him like forever through everything,
Oh,
as long as he, as long as he doesn't do anything like murdering or.
As long as he keeps it on track, then that's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, honestly, you had a great time. It was really I was more excited for you rather than anything. I was like, yes, this is so cool.
I was so happy, but there was a bit of a sadness there that I really wanted you to be there. Like, I wanted you to be there for everything. I wanted you to be there to meet Jordan Mackampa. Although you would have, if I was crumbling and I'm like the more outgoing one.
I've had a full-on panic attack in front of Jordan Mackampa.
Yeah.
A full-on panic attack.
I could imagine you dropping your water bottle down yourself and panicking. I don't know.
I actually would piss myself. You just look like it. I actually would.
Just looked like I pissed myself, and you actually did. No, I don't know. It was bittersweet. It's like I couldn't go to a Coldplay concert without you. It'd just be too wrong.
Too kind. One more thing before we go on to the music.
Yeah. We
saw each other for the first time. IRL.
We did.
It was I was nearby because my dad had a routine operation, so I drove him down there.
Like the good son you are.
Yeah, I am. It took longer than it was meant to, so I was like, I read a book, like a whole book, cover to cover.
A whole book?
It wasn't like a long book.
Oh.
It was like, I read it fully through, which is good to actually be able to do that. It was sunny, so I had a bit of a walk around the area. It's still in there. I was still in there, and I was like, hang on a second. I'm like down the road from Cap.
Yeah, you're so so close.
I went to see her, and I sent her a message, and she was like, yeah, and on the drive over to you, there was actually a slight shake in my hands, and I was like, this is terrifying because it wasn't COVID that was worrying me. It was just I suddenly realized how long it had been. And I was sat there thinking, oh God, what if it's really awkward? What if we didn't know what to say? And I was like, what? And then I got there and it was fine. It was fine. We sat down like nothing was weird.
We've never really been very touchy-feely. I need to stop saying I keep saying so much. But we've never been that touchy-feely or anything, so having the podcast every week, it feels very similar to when we're in person. I don't feel like...
Pretty much. We just record this podcast. This is just us talking, and you happen to be listening.
Exactly.
Congrats. This is, always just a conversation amongst friends, and now we have it for you. Obviously, in our conversations, we, it's a bit less stilted, and we don't randomly talk about musicians that we like and tell each other to check out our playlist. But even that, we're not a million miles away from. So
no. Well, actually, nice. This might be a good segue. Once I finish my mouthful. Segue was you were saying about how we don't randomly send each other songs and analyze them, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
However, I got a message from Chris. How long ago was it? A week?
Sure, why not?
When the new Coldplay song came out. I say song.
Are we starting with the Coldplay song?
I feel like we should.
Yes, we are. Oh my God, let's go. This is Coloratura by Coldplay. You can tell I'm excited. It's the most enthusiastic I've ever been on a podcast. It's the most enthusiastic I've been for years.
In life.
Okay. I mean, this is where I get shot down. But go on then. Tell me your thoughts.
It's so
You can be honest. It's fine. I won't take it personally. I'll kill you, but I won't take it personally.
No, I was shocked. I was like, am I listening to film music? Am I listening to a Coldplay EP? What's going on here? Because I was listening, I was like, this is cool. It sort of sounds like you know when artists have like an interlude, is that what it's called? Between tracks, and they have an instrumental that they like, but it didn't quite turn into a song. But it's like they've turned it into a film score and then picked loads of different ideas, and it's incredible.
I mean, it's a 10-minute song.
Yeah,
I didn't realise that when I listened.
That was the thing for me. It just kept going. Kept going.
I sat down with my sister and I was like, Joe, we're going to watch the premiere. So we put it on, it's great. And I was like, listen to it. And it came to like the end of the first bit, if you will. And I was like, that's really cool. I love that. And then it kept going. I was like, Joe, what's happened? What is this bit?
Think Jesus of Suburbia.
Yeah, like, it's just so weird. You're like,
sections.
More? There's more? You're giving me more. Honestly, I am in love with the song. I'm in love with it. I don't
know whether to call it a song though, because there's not that many lyrics, and it's not like a conventional. It's a composition, I would say.
It's so. Yeah, it's not a classic Coldplay song, but I mean, it is, but it is.
It is, yeah. No,
it's very cold, but I've never heard them do anything like this, and I wouldn't have thought this was something they would do. I guess.
No.
But like, there's so many different elements to it. There's so many things going on. Like,
you know when they did their concert at the Royal Albert Hall?
Yeah.
Years ago, and we listened in.
Yes.
Well, I think of this song or composition, whatever you're going to call it, as being played there with the orchestra and sort of like the stars projected on the ceiling, or I don't know, it feels very wholesome.
It did. I felt almost like I wanted to cry the first time I listened to it, because I had this weird like emotion at the end, and I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. What is this? What's this? Because it's like it goes to so many different places, but it comes back to the same thing. I was just like, emotionally, I don't know where I'm at with this.
Oh, but did you look up? Sorry.
No, go.
Did you look up the meaning of coloratura? Is it coloratura? Is that how you say it?
Coloratura, yeah. I did. I've forgotten what it is now. It means it's something. Oh, balls! I've forgotten it. Go on. I feel like you'll be able to tell me fast, and I can find it.
It's to do with like a style of opera or something like that.
That was it, because I said to my sister, "This is like a kind of rock opera kind of thing."
Yeah, it's something to do like melody and let me just have a look. Elaborate ornamentation of vocal melody, especially in opera singing. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It seems like they found out this term.
Chris Martin definitely found out this word was a thing and was like, oh, damn, nice. That would do.
Yeah, for sure. And then wrote the whole song or whatever, because...
It's very sweet. It's very sweet. It's very, like...
I'd go to sleep listening to it, actually. I think that'd be quite nice, like lullaby.
Yeah, I mean, someone said, oh, this sounds like it could be the end of Coldplay. And I was like, I mean, first of all, I think you're wrong, so getting the bin. But secondly, if it was, that would be a good place to, like, if you finished your career with that, if this was the end of it, it'd be like, bad thing. I mean, I don't think it is the end of Coldplay. And if it is, I would be unhappy. But
I think they'll get a full fucking orchestra and world tour.
I hope so. Someone said they couldn't see how they were going to play it live, and I kind of see that.
They've got the budget to do it live.
If anyone could make it good, they could.
It's a very good song. Like, because it's such a long song, there's so much to talk about in it. Like, I was gonna sort of say, one of the things I noticed as well, there was sort of like nods to the Beatles in there, I thought.
Mm.
Like just some like chromatic piano movement just gave me very Beatles
I think
vibes.
there's lots of those. There's like a bit of like, I mean, I saw some people saying, "Oh, this is like Coldplay's Bohemian Rhapsody." I was like, "All right, calm it down." But there's definitely some like elements of that like
Mm.
Queen kind of elements in there. Some of the cadences feel very like
Well, they've not
Beatles
gone for like big
things.
lyrics and stuff like that, which would push it towards the like Bohemian
Yeah,
Rhapsody, Jesus of
exactly.
Suburbia, like that sort of
It's
side of
more,
it.
yeah, it's
It's
much
more like
instrumental.
chill than
Yeah.
that, which is nice because it's not. I feel like if they did it with a load of lyrics and a load of choruses, they could have shot themselves in the foot and
Hmm.
made it like cheesy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like fucking banger.
Chef's kiss. I loved it. Let's go. I'm gonna start with for yours.
Okay.
Hurt by Bukovi.
Yes, Vukovi. I think Vukovi is how you say it. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but yeah, so Kat sent me a message yesterday or the day before
Oh
saying she hadn't
yeah.
really listened to much
Yeah.
over last week. So I was like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. This is a great song.
Yeah. So like it was really weird. Because of the festival and just being busy and stuff, I've not really. I've been doing composing this week. Essentially, all I've done is listen to John Mackampa. If I'm honest,
Understandably, friend of the
I
podcast.
I've been working out to Jordan Mackampa, like that is the level. And Jordan Mackampa, it's like soul, chill indie pop. It's not like dance music that you want to work out to. That's how obsessed I am. Just anyway, so I hadn't listened to any sort of new artists, and I was panicking, and I went onto my recent releases radar,
Hmm.
and I used to listen to Vukovi when I was in sixth form, so quite a long time
Really?
ago. Yeah, I actually saw them play in, but just before we started uni, and it was crazy, like so much energy. At the time, I think there were three piece or a four piece. I think they're now two of them with a like a session musician, I guess.
Okay.
But very cool band, and I just sort of when you don't keep up with someone anymore. I think they hadn't had a release in a while, and I drifted. Saw they were doing loads of gigs and stuff, so I was like happy. I think they did a DJ set at Camden Rocks party a
Hmm.
while back, and I was going to see them, but it didn't quite work out. But yeah, and then I saw this track, and I was like, fucking hell, they've got it so right with this song. It's catchy. Her voice, she's got a very distinctive voice,
Yeah.
and in this, I feel like she sounds more like this is not a. It sounds like a criticism. It's not a criticism, but she sounds more normal, like generic, for the first bit, and then you just hear the twangs of her like raspiness and
Mm.
like her individuality, which is what I really like because it sort of catches you off guard a bit. And
Gave me a bit of Hayley Williams from
yeah,
Paramore kind of
very
vibes.
much, very much. She's got that sort of ability there. She's such a good front woman.
Hmm.
Really energetic, crazy, like mosh pits, everything. Even if you don't know the lyrics, you're gonna dance. So yeah, like really cool. And this song was like the lyrics and stuff. I'm guessing that's where you're gonna go down that path.
I mean, I always can do. You know what I love?
I
What's stuck on my head is
go
that
for it.
bit. I'll never be whole, but I'm a fighter. Kick me in the dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. I'm gonna be heard. And I
Yeah,
was like, that's a great energy. That
yeah,
kind of like it's a really good, powerful kind of statement. The whole song is very much on that kind of lines of like, this is someone who like, oh well, it feels like they've been hurt, but they're not
yeah. A
going to let
lot.
that define them. They're not going to let that be the end of them, so to speak.
And that's sort of a theme with some of their other songs. It's very much like being empowered. You can be heartbroken and still be like, fuck you, I'm a bad bitch. Like you can you can still be grieving a relationship or a dating experience and still fight, you know?
Yeah.
The lyrics
Absolutely.
that resonated with me, they've got sort of Yonica energy actually.
Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking. Yeah,
like
definitely.
seize the power vibes a bit. Not in terms of like the sound, but just the like attitude behind it.
Exactly.
With the lyrics, the line that got me was, "And I touch my scars just to make me remember," which is fucking deep. It really reminded me of Frank Turner's song "Telltale Signs," which in it has a line saying, I just want to get it right before I. Oh yeah. You kind of remind me of the scars on my arms that I hid as best I could, that I covered it in ink, but with the right kind of light they still bleed through. Like it's that sort of being reminded of. I think Frank Turner and Vukovi probably mean it in a quite literal sense. But if
it's weird, it's one of those things that is physical but also works emotionally, I guess.
Yeah, like metaphorically with like trauma and stuff, sort of. Sometimes you can be living in the moment and having such a good time and then forget something that's happened to you for a few minutes, and then you're like, oh fuck. I wish I could go back to those few minutes where I was just completely forgot about all my responsibilities or trauma or whatever. Like I just think that was. I love it when there's like little deep lyrics in such a great chorusy, like sort of upbeat song. I would really recommend, like, if you enjoy going to gigs, to go and see Vukovi. Like,
oh, they'd be awesome to watch live.
Yeah, good. Like if you want to go and have a mosh pit and just have a good time, they'll give you that. I was thinking about moving on to Nothing But Thieves. It's really weird because I love Nothing But Thieves as well. I was thinking that it's like one of my songs in there, but it's not. So I was saying it and I was like, this feels wrong. It feels like I'm choosing my own song.
So I mean, it's very weird because I forget when I saw it, but lovely Yonica. We're just the Yonica fan podcast. And gladly, Teresa, big love, you're awesome. Yonica
I'm glad you knew
tour,
this.
supporting Nothing But Thieves.
How crazy
I was like,
is this?
So good. But Nothing But Thieves have been I've enjoyed them for a while, for a good few years now. They're kind of like, they're just good. They're bangers, you know. They write bangers.
They're a bit like Royal Blood, actually. It's a similar territory there.
They are a bit.
With Royal Blood, I would say is more like instrumental, riffy stuff, whereas with Nothing But Thieves, there's more focus on the vocals, and his vocals are just mind-blowing. He's got vocal effects that are just built in to his body that just come out as he sings without actually adding them as an effect. Did that come out right?
Yeah, I get you. No, I get you. I do.
Such a little powerhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay, we've unleashed a lyrical mess, but it's weird. I just clicked on so I'm on genius.com now. That's not a sponsorship, that's just a thing that I'm doing. I like it because they have this like annotations for the lyrics that sometimes actually come from the artist, but sometimes they're just people saying what they think. So I love the line. Well, it's in the chorus. It's, I want to be future proof. Come lift me up till I'm higher, higher. Vulture coming to steal my youth. Now that line, vulture coming to steal my youth, I was like, oh damn. Now, apparently, well, according to this person, they think it's to do with cancel culture. And like people going back and looking through the things you said in the past, like how many years ago, and being like, look, this person's a racist because in 2010 they said this about black people or something. That's not how I took it. I took it in a different way. For me, it was like, it reflects all the anger I have about. I was thinking about this recently because I was thinking about how over our kind of time in like school and things, but certainly for me, music and things went from being something that was affordable, available, easily accessible for people, to being something which feels like it's restricted to those people whose parents have the money to pay for it. So I know when I started to learn cello in primary school, lessons was £25 a term, right?
Right.
That's insane. And then at some point that went up to 50, I think, when I joined Stantonbury, and then it went up and up and up, and then it ended up like some.
Oh, you had the incident with your sister as well. That was awful.
Which one do you mean?
When they tried to charge extra and she was meant to get it for free or something like that.
Oh god, yeah.
And you had to send in an email.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that was like, it made me angry because I was thinking about how like cuts to education and things have stolen that opportunity to get involved in things like music. Not only music is an example, but like lots of things, performing arts generally. Has really stolen that opportunity away from young people. And it's a massive shame because like being able to learn an instrument is one of the most awesome things I was able to do.
I saw them perform a few years ago, and I remember thinking, bloody hell, he's quite short. No hate to the guy, he's the same height as me. He's 5'6", which annoys me. Cancelled. It annoys me that man...
Go the whole way. Do a Jordan Mackampa and say you despise them.
I fucking do despise him. I do despise the man. He's the same height as me. I don't know like how much he weighs or anything, but I can't imagine it's that different if he's the same height. Where is his... Can I have his lungs? What? You understand?
Nothing but thieves. If you're listening and you're willing to give up your lungs, get in touch and we'll sort that out.
Thanks, Connor babes. It doesn't make sense. Why can't I do that?
It's not fair. I mean, share it out, you know?
I love his voice. He's amazing. I don't actually know too much about him. I've seen him do covers in his bedroom and stuff on Instagram. Like, he seems really, really sweet. So yeah,
they're great. Honestly, it's a banger. It's a banger. It's another official World to Rights podcast certified banger.
Banger.
I need a stamp so I can be like, banger.
Banger. I'm desperate to go and see them in Yonica. I looked at tickets to go with B, my old housemate, and they're like 180 quid, and I ran out of student loan, so
happens to us all.
I'm like living out of my savings now, so yeah, that's fun, and I don't think I can afford to go, so that's sad. I even tried to play my cards. I contacted Barnes because he's got a song with Yonica, but he couldn't help me out. So sad.
Teresa, if you're listening and you want to help out Kat to come and see you, get in touch. You'd have to.
I'm too poor.
You imagine episode 23, we're like, so Yonica got in touch and Kat's going to see. But if you know,
it's like such a dream gig though. Oh my god, I can't speak.
That's how excited you are. Look, it's broken you.
Anyway, it's
Congrats.
hard. I'm very passionate about this week's music
I know, I can
collection.
tell. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry, but I'd like to move on
Oh,
to
oh,
Sorry
all
Not
right.
Sorry by Theatre Thesis. Thank you. See, it was good, wasn't it?
You did
Um,
that well.
I honestly I've been thinking about it for a good few minutes out here. So I'm glad I got the chance to use it. It was a whole thing. This song, okay, it wasn't what I was expecting,
Right. It
and I
does
say
sound
it
like a
right now.
death metal band name, I must
It
say.
does, it does. I
I
mean,
do-
it does, but I don't think I was like okay. I mean, let's be honest. I was listening to this initially when I was just waking up, so like I
Oh yeah,
wasn't
that's
really
my
sure
bad.
what to expect. I was just like enjoying it, and then it starts. I was like, this is quite heavy after the last one. All right, okay. I love the vibe.
Yeah.
I love the guitars in there. Like the sound of the guitars in there is
It's
I don't
very
even know what it is.
nostalgic, isn't it? It's very like uh not it's obviously like not Oasisy, but it's that sort of
Yeah,
uh
it's that kind of like late
era,
90s,
late
early
90s, early no,
2000s kind of thing, like
yeah. It's that feel. Did you I didn't send you I should have sent you the link to the YouTube video. You probably didn't have time um to see, but the music video is pretty cool. It's actually uh Jay Bones, who is a phenomenal drummer. It's his new band project, and he is singing and drumming. How crazy is
singing
that?
and drumming.
Yep.
Props
I
to
don't
you,
know if
man.
he's going to be able
Props
to
to
do
you.
that live, because obviously with recording you can do that separately. Um, I,
Nice.
I can't even drum. I've tried. I can't.
No, I
I've
can't drum when I'm focusing on it 100%. I can't.
I genuinely, if I could pick up another instrument, it would be drums, because
Yeah.
everything else I have some hope with.
Hmm.
Drums, I can't do it. I just
Nothing.
can't. But
Nothing.
Jay actually has got a pretty impressive fucking CV. He's such a nice guy. I have a lot of faith in Jay, and I reckon they're gonna come out with some really cool music.
Oh yeah.
And there's the music video. I really recommend watching it. It's very cool. There's sort of COVID related stuff in there,
Interesting.
so you'll definitely like it.
Fair play.
But yeah, I don't like. I didn't know whether people we know moving like. Oh fuck! I was doing so well. I was doing so well.
What did you
Words.
do?
I was trying to just speak, and the alcohol is. I don't know if I was
Told you
drunk.
can't
Maybe
drink while we're making the podcast.
I'm like starting to wonder if I was maybe still drunk when we started the podcast. And
Always
now I'm
possible.
starting to feel the hangover, because I don't feel as if I drank a lot last night. I don't know how I'm okay.
Look, we're so close. Okay,
We're
you can
so
do this.
close.
I believe in you.
Okay. What I was trying to say was I'd had a conversation with Jay about this new track, and I was going to say you'd had a conversation with Mitchie Tree. Is that right? Mitchie
Oh
Tree?
my god, yes, sorry. Oh,
That was, I was trying to segue,
you were trying to
but
segue and
I
it
really
became a
fucked
mess.
it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we've obviously been talking for a while about saying how we'd love to have if anyone has music that they make or anything like that, we'd love to talk about it because it's a bit of a platform, isn't it? So yeah, Mitchie Tree got in touch with us on Instagram, and she told us about her new song that she dropped. Came out Friday, just gone on the 30th. But she sent it to us like a few weeks ago. It was like
Yeah.
a like pre-release list. I feel like we've moved up in the world,
We were privileged.
Look
yeah.
at us. Yeah, so she gave us that. She's a new kind of artist. I think she's just graduated from BIM, although I might be talking out of my ass.
No, that sounds right.
She's playing I tell you what I do remember is that she's playing the O2 Academy Islington.
Yes, yes.
which was like, all right, good work. But like that's pretty good. Yes, she's only got a couple of songs out so far. And yeah, we took a listen.
I just really love the energy that she's got. Like, I've seen she played her first gig back. I think I saw a clip of her just sort of jumping, and I was like, "Oh, you look so happy. You're in your element there." I think it gives me sort of like Paramore vibes almost.
Yeah, there's a bit of that in there, isn't there? It's definitely very I like
that would be the fan
kind
base.
Of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's like alt fans, isn't it? Like
yeah.
Alt.
Definitely.
Bloody
She's
hell.
got she has a good voice. She has a good voice for sure. It's it's one of those moments when I get annoyed because, you know, it's like, all right, so you're younger than me.
You're younger than us, and you're like living your best
life. Leave some talent for the rest of us, would you? No, it's a good song.
Yeah, so she's very much like upcoming and like starting off. So if you're gonna listen to any of the tunes from this week's podcast, I would say listen to hers and Jay's track "Sorry Not Sorry," because they're the two that are starting out and are gonna benefit from your listen. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Coldplay,
please do go and support them.
Living in their fucking mansions with their helicopters, may not realise if you listen to their track or not.
Yeah, Chris Martin doesn't fucking need you. He's doing alright. He's made his millions. He doesn't fucking need you.
What I've done here is actually gone, this track's amazing, don't listen to it.
It's a great, and I'm really grateful to Tennessee Tree for getting in touch with us and giving us a chance to listen. It's just come out, so like it's a new song, why not go check it out, you know?
And now on to Monster, I guess.
Yes, by Paris.
By Paris.
And not, as I wanted to say,
Paris.
Go on.
I was gonna say I saw Paris on a lineup.
I really wanted you to say you'd seen them in Paris, and I was like,
that would have been good. No, I'd seen them on a lineup for Reading and Leeds years ago, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure I did. And I was like, Paris. Like, how do I say that? And then someone said, yeah, it's Paris. I was like, oh.
Just looks at me and says, fucking Paris, you weirdo.
I feel dumb. What were your thoughts on this track? I'm so happy. On Paris.
It's a good one. Again, it's not. It wasn't wise. I mean, it doesn't. It's weird because it's a bit different to the other two you put in there.
Do you think? I would say it's like
at first,
similarish to Vukovi a bit.
As it goes on, it makes like at first it's like, oh, this feels like a different kind of thing. It's the same kind of like. It's the same energy though. As the other two. It's definitely got that same kind of energy, that same kind of passion in there. Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, I'll let you say something, partly because I can't talk, but also because I'm going to go on to the lyrics soon.
Oh, okay. Surprise. I was just going to say, like, again, a lot of energy with this. It's... I don't want to keep saying, like, Paramore, because that just, like, dates it. It's, like, new... future of female fronted rock.
Yeah, there's like an evolution in there.
Yeah, and I don't know, like it just clicked with me. It just felt like I will listen to this song on repeat now for a couple of weeks and till I play it to death essentially.
I really liked the how could you let them turn you into a monster? Your bridge started to burn when you ran all across it.
Oh wow.
I really like it, and I looked into what it was about and what they'd said about it. They said a lot is about kind of dealing with what people expect from you, the kind of outside things that people tell you should be or that you're meant to be or things you should do. And like that's got to be such a weight, you know? Like to be in the modern world, it's so easy to be exploited when you're trying to be successful, especially like musician, any kind of performing arts. Again, you want to do the best. You want to make the right decisions and create the right kind of image. But in doing that, you have to deal with a lot of other people who have ideas of how things should be, don't align with what is
completely.
right.
And if they're paying your bills, if it's a label saying we think you should do this with your music and they're paying your bills, you kind of like feel like you have to go with that. And a lot of the time it's either you've got a label up your ass or you haven't got a label backing you with the money and you're potless, like using your savings to fund your passion, and you're sort of stabbing in the dark trying to find out what's going to work. And even the most well-connected people in the industry, a lot of the time it's just fucking luck of who gets picked up, who's in the right place at the right time, who's in a good mood, who's in a bad mood, and that means you sort of can sell your soul to the devil a bit with arts and stuff.
I reminded me. So a few weeks ago, I read this article about an artist called Ray, she came third in the BBC Music Sound of 2017.
Right.
And she's worked with a few people. She's really talented. And she kind of announced on Twitter a few weeks ago that she was really annoyed, and rightly so, of her record label because they were holding back her first album. She said that they wouldn't release it even though she was happy with it. And I think, I'm pretty sure, if I just double check, yeah, so she's not actually with the record label anymore. But it's that kind of thing of like you're at the mercy of, like you say, the people who pay your bills, so to speak, and they have some kind of power over you in that respect. And it's a shame that if you're, someone you've made your first album, you're really excited to share it with the world, and someone goes, "Yeah, no, we think you should do something a bit different." It's like you're stuck. Do you do what they say you should do because it will supposedly make you money, or do you do what you want to do, but that might mean putting that at risk? It's a difficult thing to do. I don't envy that kind of,
and it's decision. A business at the end of the day, so like
exactly,
the label have got to ensure. So say you have the choice with a safe option or something that's either going to be loved or absolutely hated, the label are not like, most likely going to go for the safe option that's going to have a steady amount of streams and stuff, because that means they're not going to lose money, and it's not going to be someone who's pitched this band and now they're regretting it because it may be hit or miss, or whatever the case is. It's money. People,
I think it's fair that they wouldn't. I think I could be safe in saying that it's some of those things that if you're new, if you're an upcoming kind of artist, they don't really want you to take too many risks. You got to mark yourself out as being different so you can sell albums, but you got to be mainstream enough that people are going to actually listen. And if you don't get that chance to properly experiment until you're more established and have more of a effectively your voice is bigger because you're bringing in more money. So it's like, well, I want to do this, and if you don't let me, I'll walk away. So it's a shame that that's how it works, that you have to play the game in that respect, and and you're at the mercy of someone else. It's tough, and I imagine mentally that must be horrible, just the effects of like
there's so much pressure.
I think people think that as a musician you have complete control over your own career and stuff, and it's amazing that how little control you have over so much stuff, even as far as where your song is played or where it's streamed and how much you get for streams and all that kind of stuff. So
0.004p per stream on Spotify.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not okay. Spotify sort that out.
Lol.
Feels like you could do it by now. You got that idea?
Maybe. Yeah, so do you think that's what the song's sort of about, like the monster of the music industry a bit?
I mean, I
Or...
don't know if I necessarily think it's about that, but it's like, I guess what I'm, it feels like it's the pressure of, you see it with so many musicians. I mean, the other one I guess that came to mind is like Amy Winehouse, right?
Oh,
She's
it's
someone
the
who was
10-year anniversary.
incredibly talented, incredibly skilled, and could have, God knows what she could have done. But obviously, other kind of things got in there, and kind of negative influences and everything else, and it turned you into someone else. It destroys you.
With the Amy Winehouse situation, what fucking pisses me off with that, I won't go into a massive one about it, but she was so clearly unhappy, unstable, and yet we as a society couldn't help her.
No.
That is what scares me, because you think about all the people who are suffering in silence, and then you've got somebody there who's telling you, like just from going on stage, being drunk and using drugs and what have you, and
You
we
see
can't...
headlines from like the Sun and things, and you see them from like the Time. And it's like, oh, back on another, all nighter stuff, and it's like, shit.
Or like talking about her array of boyfriends, when actually it's just like, no, she's just so famous that you know her every detail. She's probably dated the same amount of people that any other person has. It's just their life is broadcast.
It's a lot of external pressure and a lot of external expectations and demands about how she should be, and that's too much for any one person to have to deal with. It's too much.
Well, that's actually it for the music section, I think.
It is. One more thing I should throw in just quickly. Our lovely friend Matthew Lockwood, who makes music, has The Woods and I, has I think, don't hold me to it, I'm gonna I won't check, I'll just say it and then I can deal with the consequences later. He's got an album coming.
He's recorded it, ready to release?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's been working on it. It's like synth pop kind of thing. It's really cool.
Amazing.
I've actually used a few of his songs for like my creative kind of things with his permission.
Oh.
That's so good. I'm really excited. Please go and check him out, because he's a friend of ours. And he had a
music video out about a month ago.
Yeah, the music.
I can't remember if we mentioned this or not. We might.
I don't remember, but it's good. Go check it out. The Woods and I. Go check him out on Instagram. Send him some love. Boy deserves some love. Yeah, no, that's me. I'm done.
That was good you remembered to do that. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm sorry for being an absolute fucking hungover mess, but
I'm sorry for being a mess and not realizing it. I was doing well, but I think I suddenly realized that I was not. I low-key a mess today.
I feel like you're quite happy though.
I consider myself to be a hot mess today.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well, I can't see you, so I'm just... No, I'm
yeah, could have just said, yeah, sure, but alright. No worries.
I was going to say I can't see you, but I'll try and believe you.
Okay, well, okay. I feel like you could just believe me. Yeah. Help me out.
Here we go.
Help my ego.
Here's our first fight. End podcast. And then we
God
don't
damn it.
Make it
Smashes
to
the keyboard. No.
22.
Look, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time with some more bullshit from the World's Greatest Podcast.
Woo! We love you. I'm hanging on. Bye.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Bye.